Shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well. And shalom to you sincere, hopeful, elect brothers and sisters listening and learning, and to you brothers preaching and teaching the truth through the four corners of the earth. This is Brother Nathan, come out of the GMS Indianapolis camp. Come back with a quick video. This is Esau showing off these silicone masks, that are very realistic, and you see these are tactics that Esau Edom, so-called white man, because he is the devil that the Bible speaks of. He is the wicked, because Job 9:24 talks about what the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, and pursuant to Malachi 1:4, that Esau Edom is the border of wickedness. All right. And their history shows, and how they conduct themselves even to this day shows that the so-called white man is the fucking wicked. All right, and look, he makes these realistic masks that you can buy, right? But Esau uses these, and puts Jake's faces on and starts, gang wars and X, Y, and Z, And guess what? It ain't nothing for them to do something like this to get the ministry blamed, right? Which, you can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth, so we know persecution's coming. So for Esau to pull off stunts and stuff and dressed as, and then you got your sellout Jakes, that took that bag. So these are all part of the schemes of the wicked, man. But it's all according to Yahweh Shem Shai's will, because like Scripture say, who has resisted his will? See, no one has. And so, like I said, you can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. So when we're persecuted and they're blaming us and speaking evil of us, like I believe in Matthew the 5th chapter, that's when we're going to be rejoicing because we're doing the right thing. And Yahweh Shem Shai told us this would happen, and no servant is greater than his master, right? Shit, Yahweh Shai had to go through it. Guess what? We're on that same path. All right, I'm going to play this video. And there you go. See? Look at that. I'm gonna put back here. Look at that. You can't even. You ain't gonna be able to spot that out as fake. They do this stuff with these mass shooters and guess what? Just do these these deceptive tactics, just like that the president's so-called assassination attempt. That stuff looked hella staged. But this is how the devil works, man. And he deceives the people. Those that don't have the Holy Spirit, who those of the hopeful elect, see, they understand and see it, what's going on, and they're not deceived like the people of the world. So there it is. I'm gonna get a couple scriptures. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And the ones that aren't ignorant to devices, like I said, the ones that have the 100% truth of Yahweh Shem Shai. We ain't falling for the bullshit. All right? Because even these people of the world, they're seeing the bullshit. But them seeing is only goes so far. Just like these people are still going to get caught up by the MOT to the B. Well, a lot of people, quote unquote, know about it too. These Christians, you talk to a Christian, a lot of these Christians do believe it's the RFID microchip. Okay? So, but that don't mean, that's only part of it, but that, that's the main thing. That don't mean they're Israelites just because they believe that, but because it's the facts. Because that's a cardinal thing to understand, that it's going to be a micro C-hip, okay? Like I said, but we're not ignorant of his devices. We know what Esau's Damn, I'm walking and the car just ran into a sign. Anyways, so hey, we understand his schemes and what he's capable of. That's why what you. This is Hebrews chapter 6. Actually, oops, slacking. That's for a different. Let's do this. Yep. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushua." See, first of all, it says, "Finally, my brothers, to be strong in the Lord and the power of his might." All right, remember our confidence in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that we actually have the 100% truth, that we actually calling on the true names, like being fully persuaded. Like, we got power, man. We got the power to pray. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gives us the power to fast. Okay, so like, hey, keep our confidence in the Lord, man. He's got us. So be strong in the Lord, man. Be bold in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, the scriptures. Like it says in Isaiah 33 and 6 says what? "So wisdom and knowledge shall be what? The stability of thy times." What times? The end time. All right, the fear of the Lord is a strength, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, Isaiah 33 and 6. Okay? That's the armor, because that's what's going to keep us protected, not carnal means. See, these Christians, they read it, and you got the carnal means. Just like when they be like, "Oh, we're going to bear a cross." You see a dude with a big ass cross walking down the street, carrying it, dragging it down the street. Nah, man. It's spiritual. Okay? Just like with the whole armor, with the spiritual armor being well equipped. All right? Rightly dividing the word of truth. And, know what we're involved in. Know that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is with us. All right? You got to believe that. All right? And if you're lacking faith, you got to ask for it, because it's a gift anyway. So it's Yahweh Shem Yahushua's got to give it to you anyways. This is, I'm going to read it again. It's Ephesians, let's see here. Ephesians 6, verse 11. It says, "Put on the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." See? They be able to stand the wiles of the devil, man. See? Shit like that. See, just the ability to be circumspect, just to be the ability to have the eye salve to see through all the madness and the chaos that's through this world, man. Because it's ran by the wicked. Verse 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." And see, that's what we're dealing with. Matter of fact, let's see what it says in let's see what the Amplified says. This is the Amplified version. Says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, contending only with physical opponents, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this present darkness." See? And part of the rulers, present darkness is what? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. The wicked. This is why we have to have the whole armor on us. That's why we have to have the scriptures in us. All right? That's why we got to believe, That's why we got to pray. That's why we got to fast. Because we got the devil in rulership. All right? The physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. All right? The wicked. And it says, "Against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly supernatural places." See? Yeah, there's demons out here. There's all manner of wickedness out here that'll destroy you. So guess what? That's why you have to stay prayed up in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Put the Lord's Prayer up daily. That's the least you can do. And then pray on your travels and everywhere you go, man. Because we're in the worst times and it's getting worse. All right. It said wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and what the hurtful works are fulfilled. And it's fulfilling right now before our eyes. All right. Just when you think it's like, damn, it can't get more no wicked, right? Then boom, something else. See, the Lord is turning this thing up, man. On both ends, both the wicked side and the righteous side. All right. So our faith is increasing as we seeing the scriptures, the prophecies come to life right before us, man. So back to Ephesians 6, now verse 13, it says, wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh Shem Shai, that ye may be able to be able to withstand in the evil day. What's the evil day? The bad times? All right, the end. All right, the times we're in. And having done all to stand, all right? Because how you, so you use the scriptures, all right, to keep you afloat. Through the spirit power, Yahweh Shem Shai. Prayer, fasting, right? And then what? Then you got also, it's because it said having done all to stand, doing what meaning what? You had to endure. All right? He said, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. All right, this is not a race to the swift, all right, but it's a marathon. All right? So, you got to keep going. You got to keep your hand on the plow and keep going. Hey, remember, like, hey, hey, if you fall, guess what? You get your ass back up and you keep going. All right? So what if you had a fucked up day or a fucked up week or a fucked up month? We in Babylon, we in hell. Hey, like Micah 7:9 says, what? We will bear the indignation of the Lord because what? We have sinned against them. All right? But, we got trying times, we got Satan want to fuck with you in your mind, You got to, constantly be around the brothers and you got to call them, praying. Like, just snap out of that shit, man. Shit. So if you're slipping and sliding while pushing this plow, hey, get back up and keep going. Get your tracking back. Always speaking to myself first and then passing it along. Because we edify ourselves when we teach, There's a scripture about that. I can't think of it just right at the moment. But yeah. So, like Elder Kazak in Mississippi said, he said, hey, he said, doing the videos keep the demons off you. And that's true. When you ever did a video or went to camp, if you're teaching, if you're a man of the Lord and you ain't felt great afterwards, So that's why it's a beautiful thing. So, yeah, so that's how we can stand. Got to endure. All right, endure hardness as a good soldier, right? Let's go ahead and get that real quick. It didn't say endure softness. It said endure hardness. We're being hardened, we'll be made stronger, we're made better. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 3. Thou therefore, to start at the top. The 2 Timothy 2 and 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Right, see? You gotta be strong in Yahweh Shem Shai. Like, we got the power on our side. Alright? So, hey, we got a good thing going. That's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, verse 4. It says, no man that warreth It says, verse 2, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Right. Those that want to get the word. Or you pass it on to the ones that want to learn it. Not these, you don't cast your pearls before swine, the ones that don't want to get it. They want to be demons with the use the scriptures to try to rend you, to try to get at you and, make you feel lesser, trying to, just do the wrong thing with the scriptures. They're not using it to edify, they're just using it to, to try to mess with you. All right? And they don't know the scriptures. But you give it to the ones that want to learn and teach others, all right, that are about the elect, that are about Yahweh Shem Shai. No matter what, no matter how good it's going or how bad, you just know that Yahweh Shem Shai is with us. Verse 3, it says, Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Yep, see, you got to endure that hardness, and that's the honorable thing, you know. So the Lord, you know, He'll do stuff like that. It says, "No man that warreth entangleth himself with affairs of this life, that he may please Him who have chosen him to be a soldier." See, that's why we can't be too tied up in this world, you know. We all know we got to work. You not have children, you know, wife you got to take care of. But even that's limited. Like it says, those that have wives be as they have none. And yeah, they gonna hate you for it too. It's always the brothers. Well, you know, hey, if she's saying that, you're doing the right thing. Continue, keep going, because these women, they ain't really about what they're not about what they say, anyways. And they about to really get shut down, because I guess what, Isaiah 4:1, right on the horizon, drawing nearer and nearer, and these women are starting to choose a lot more. I know brothers been noticing that, like, these women are trying to strike up conversation. You know, they're trying to be chose. You know, so the time is getting there. It's about to get harder. So just here in Indianapolis, gas went up from 4.30, 4.25 this morning, and then boom, jumped up to $5 within the same day. So hey, for regular gas. So that's what's happening. You know, it's going down. But it says, yeah, so no man worth entangles himself with the affairs of this life. Yeah, we ain't all tied up in the world, because we know this shit's about to be over with. All right, this life is out of here. Shit. And we're hastening the day, because it's hell here. We need the new bodies. We're ready to be perfect, man. I know I am. I'm ready to be perfect for you. How about some outside? No blemishes. You know. You know. I just pray that that's cool. And all of us that are laboring, you know, that truly believe that, hey, we're the chosen. Pray that we're the elect. You know, because you go through all this hell and stuff, and you just pray the Lord, you know, stay with you and be with you, you know, all the way. You know, because it said, hey, and He's good. So it says, and if a man off, that was it on that. Yep. But He says that he may please Him who have chosen him to be a soldier. See, and he had to be chosen by Yahweh Shemashai. You know, that's it. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna show. So you see the Deceptive. Yeah, that's funny.